Go.
Have you ever seen the movie Holes? Do you remember who Hector Zeroni is in the movie? He also went by Zero. In the movie Holes, Hector had went to a camp where he became friends with another boy. At this camp, they had found a treasure. And from this treasure, when they went back home, the one thing that Zero wanted to do, Hector Zeroni, he wanted to find out who his mother was. So with this treasure that they found, he hired a team of investigators to find out who his mother is. So today, you all are going to get to be the investigators to find out who Hector Zeroni's mother is. The way that we are going to do this is through blood samples. These blood samples are going to be represented by colored pieces of paper in these bags. Each of these bags hold colored pieces of paper representing the blood from each of these 5 women. All these 5 women claim to be Hector's mother, but only one of them is. The blood sample of Hector's blood type is he has 5 yellow, 2 blue, and 2 red. So what we are going to do now is we are going to split you up into groups. After we split you up into groups, we will give each group a bag with colored pieces of paper in it that represent the blood sample from the woman that is written on the front of the bag. One person in each group will be responsible for drawing pieces out of the bag, and one person will be responsible for recording the data on the charts. For each bag, you will draw 10 times. Each time you draw out a color, record it on the chart next to the woman's name. Then replace the color back into the bag and shake the bag. Do that 10 times for each woman. After you have gotten all of your data for one woman, you will raise your hand and we will hand you another bag. These are the charts that you will use to collect your data. There are 5 names written on the left column. These are the names of the 5 women who all claim to be Hector's mother. In the next 3 columns are colors. Each time you draw out a color, you can mark a tally mark in the column next to that woman's name until you have drawn out all 10 times. Then you can add them up and write a total in that column. Now I'll put you into groups. Now that you are all in groups, I am going to demonstrate one bag for you and show you how you all are going to get your data. Then I will pass out the bags and you can start. So with this bag we can see that this is Nancy. And Nancy believed that she is Hector's mother. So what we are going to do is we are going to draw out 10 times from this bag. And each time that we draw out a color, we're going to record it on our chart. So for our first draw, we get a yellow. So what we'll do is we'll mark a tally mark for the yellow under Nancy's name. And then we'll replace it back into the bag. Shake the bag. We'll do that again 10 times. And the second time we get a blue, so we'll mark blue on our chart with a tally mark. We'll place that back into the bag and shake it again. Next we draw a yellow. So we'll write another tally mark next to that name. And we'll place that back into the bag and shake the bag. And draw out another color, and we draw yellow again. Replace that back into the bag, and shake our bag. You see that we draw yellow again. Replace that into your bag, shake your bag. Next color we draw is a red. And we'll mark a tally mark next to our red. Next we draw another yellow. Draw again, we get another yellow. And we'll mark that next to her name. We draw the yellow again. We draw it one more time, will be 10 times. And we draw blue. So then what you do is you add up your tally marks in each column. You see in the yellow that we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tally marks for yellow, for Nancy. And in the blue, we get 2 tally marks. And in the red, we get 1 tally mark. So this will be the system that you'll use in your groups to find out the blood samples for each of these 5 women. So now that I've showed you this, who can you predict will be Hector's mother? Why did you come up with that answer? Now that all of your groups have collected all of your data, who do you think is Hector's mother? I noticed that some of you got the same answer and some of you got something different. So now what we are going to do is we're going to collect all the data from all the groups and record it on a big chart. Now that we've collected all the data from all the groups, that we can do now is to help compare. What do you think we can do to help compare the data from Hector's sample? So if we add up all the numbers, we see that we get a larger number. How can we condense these numbers down to relate to the numbers of Hector's blood sample? So we need to take an average of these numbers. After comparing all the data, who do we come up with to be Hector's mother? What do you think we can conclude from this? Why do you think each group got something different? Why do you think that we came up with Maria when we put all the groups together? What can we conclude from the experiment to show what you have learned about probability? One thing that you can learn from this probability lesson is that you can learn that when you first have a small sample of data, you don't always come up with the right data. But when you get a larger sample of data, you see that we got different results. So if you have a larger sample of data, you will notice that it will come out differently when you have more data to show who the mother is. And we can prove that by showing that Maria is the mother, because we know that Hector's blood sample is 5 yellow, 2 blue, and 2 red. If we look in Maria's bag, we will find that the colored pieces of paper in her bag is that she actually does have the 5 yellow, she has 2 blue, and she has 2 red. So that we can show that if we had a small sample of data, we may not have come up with the accurate results, but having a larger amount of data, that we can come up with more accurate results. Now we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm wanting to buy a skateboard. I don't know a lot about them, but I know that you all do. So I think you can help us. I'm passing out a piece of paper with 3 names that I have found that might be the 3 most popular brands of skateboards. So what I need you to do is put a check next to the skateboard that you think will be the best. I need you to do this assignment by yourself so you do not have to tell anyone your answer. Now that all of you have answered the question, we're going to record it on a chart. For my first results, I only want 3 people to give me their answer. So after I get those 3 people's results, I will ask for 3 more examples, 3 more results from 3 more people. After getting just results from 3 people, we can conclude that that might not be the correct results from their data. But after we collect all the data from the whole class, we notice that we get a different result. It's having more samples we can see that our data can be more accurate. So from this lesson, we can see that the more data that you have, the more accurate your results will be.